everybody, my name is Dune, and the channel you are watching is Game Select. I'm going to be playing the visual novel Celestial Crossing. So, I found this game, let's just say a couple days ago on the 29th of December, they finally wanted to branch this out on Steam, so hopefully I'm going to enjoy this. I've heard good reviews. Clang. Crash. A demon voice groans in pain, and a woman calls out.
Damn it, Hikaru! What are you doing? Counting the cracks in the fucking ceiling?
I blink, surprised. I take in the scene in front of me. Nerith, the elven warlock at my side, is facing off against two snarling minotaurs. Her short sword looks pathetically puny where it clashes against their heavy broadaxes, and a bolt of fear shoots through me. Without questioning how I found myself in this situation, I feel my body moving automatically. Use a spell, use her weapon. Use your weapon. Use a spell. Spell seems cool. My fingers fly through the motions of a familiar spell, and I mumble the incantation. I wait for the warmth of fire to spread from my outstretched fingers. A weak jet of flame bursts from my hands, arcing through the air until it splashes against the arm of the nearest minotaur. It grunts in mild discomfort. Frustration begins to set in until... What the hell? What's going on with my magic? At least I succeeded in getting its attention off of Nerith.
Done being useless yet?
Well, that hurts my feelings. She shoots the question over her shoulder as she swipes her sword over the eyes of the other minotaur, blinding it. Something's wrong with my magic. I must be out of mana or something. The minotaur seems to decide that I am too annoying to live and abandons its tussle with Nerith to shamble my way instead. Shit. Her hands wave through the complicated motions of a spell, and when she expels her breath, a cloud of icy vapor pours over the two monsters, freezing them into solid statues. Before I can do more than panic, Nerith leaps into action. Then, with the complete nonchalance, she kicks one over, shattering it into several large pieces. There are bits everywhere, and a dead minotaur's arm skitters over to land next to my foot. Nausea rolls in my stomach, and I try to focus on what Nerith is saying to distract myself.
Such a damn waste. All that pretty loot. All because you decided to do nothing but waste air on this mission.
After toppling over the second statue and looking sadly at the shattered remains of her loot, she glares over to me. I can't help but to quail a little bit. She's pretty damn terrifying when she's pissed. I'm not sure what happened. I looked down and... Suddenly, she interrupts in a carefully disinterested tone.
You alright?
It seems crazy that I didn't notice sooner, but there's a slowly spreading bloodstain just above my stomach. I look down, not feeling pain. That's a bad thing, right? The sight is almost as alarming as the realization that it doesn't hurt at all. What the? I don't even remember getting this!
Well, what did you expect, showing up dressed like that? Idiot.
It all suddenly becomes clear. I'm wearing my school uniform. I shouldn't be here. I can't be here. Nerith is me in the game. What?
And how was your nap, Azumi-san?
The entire class is laughing so hard. I fantasize briefly about vanishing into the floor. The worst part is embarrassing myself in front of Agano-sensei, though. This isn't quite as bad as the time I fell asleep and had a dirty dream about her in the middle of the class. At least there's no drool this time. This time.
Go stand in the hallway, Azumi. I will deal with you in a minute.
I feel my face flush in humiliation as I make the walk of shame through the classroom, trying my best to ignore the snickers, giggles, and the roast. It's a small relief to shut the door behind me, but I hate that Agano-sensei is disappointed again. Especially since the nap really wasn't worth the embarrassment. What a lame dream, fighting beside my game character and failing at it. Even in my imagination, I'm a fucking loser. Thinking back to battle, I can easily place the setting. Now that I'm not asleep, it looks like the final level before the end of the Lich Lord quest. Maybe I'm subconsciously trying to remind myself that I need to max released. And as it always is, thinking about Celestial Crossing is the metaphorical balm on my soul. Crossing Con is coming up too. I just need to at least grind through Lich Lord Keep and maybe the forest to...
Keep falling asleep in my class again.
My automatic reaction is to squeak out her name, but it comes out sounding like... Ah!
If you spent more time at home sleeping properly and less time playing games, maybe we wouldn't have to have this little chat once a week.
Yes, ma'am. Her gaze is stern at first, but as she sighs, the wind seems to go out of her.
Honestly, Azumi-san, it's not as though you're a bad student when you apply yourself. I know your father isn't home, but I need you to try harder.
My face heats up and I hang my head like an idiot. At 18 years of age, I'm way too old to be falling asleep in class all the time, barely passing all of my subjects. I know this. If only it was as easy to level up in real life as it is in a game. It's hard not to drift back into a daydream as she scolds me, but I manage not to. The rest of the day passes by in a fog of sleepiness amid the judgmental stares of my classmates. The walk home is peaceful by comparison. I'm close to the apartment complex I live in when I see a familiar head turn the adjacent corner.
Oh, hey, Hikaru-kun, heading home?
Why? Why do I blush every time she so much as looks at me? Yeah, I just got out of school. Of course she knows that. The time of day and the uniform make it fairly obvious. Idiot. Time to deflect. Deflect! You went grocery shopping. I motion lamely towards the plastic bags that she's holding. They look a little heavy. By some miracle, she actually smiles.
Uh-huh, I got some ingredients to make dinner tonight.
Uh-huh, I got some ingredients to make dinner tonight. I said what she said. I just like to read. Sorry about that. She laughs slightly before giving me a mock angry look.
It figures that we'd bump into each other when I have food. It seems like the only time you ever see me is when I'm trying to feed you.
Sorry, Mika-chan. She throws her elbow playfully at my midsection, ending my whole career. It takes all of my willpower not to grunt like a little sissy, oh that's bad. She's completely wrong, of course. In the entire span of time we've known each other as next-door neighbors, I don't think I've ever sought her out once. In fact, Up until my mother passed away, I've got to sense she didn't even like me. She stopped coming over to play when she entered junior high 2 years ahead of me. It wasn't hard to figure out she probably doesn't want a little kid hanging around with her older friends. When Mom passed, though, she started showing up again, mostly with food, but also sometimes just to make sure I was taking care of myself.
Mo, Hikaru-kun, can you please try to be a little more comfortable with me? We've known each other since we were practically in diapers. Actually, do you think I could walk home with you? I wouldn't mind some company.
I feel the skin under my collar go hot. I've always been in love with her, of course, but with her looks and the fact that she's already dating real men at her university, I have less than a snowball's chance in hell. I'm pretty sure I nod or something because Mika continues smiling and falls into step beside me. The silence that falls between us is painfully awkward. I feel myself start to sweat a little as we pass by the park and a couple houses. There are still a good 2 or 3 blocks before we make it home, and I have no idea how to entertain her. Off to carry her bags, make small talk. Let's see. Well, she'd held it this far. Making small talk will be okay, I guess. How's school going? Mika's smile is friendly and a little relieved, as if she was equally bothered by the tension.
Not too bad, but the workload is pretty intense. Industrial chemistry isn't a field to get into if you want to have any kind of social life.
You mean you don't have much free time anymore?
Right. I can't remember the last time I went out with friends or on dates.
So you're saying there's still a chance, Mika? You saying? No, wait, never mind. I try not to perk up too noticeably at the last part, but Mika turns her attention back to me and her grin widens.
This doesn't count as a free time activity, by the way. I always have time to cook for you, Hikaru-kun.
Is this more of a sister complex? I'm not sure. I think she's trying to be, very supportive. I think she's just trying to be a good person since my mom passed away and my dad is working, I guess, overseas. I don't know. I'm getting a bad vibe that she's just being, really, really nice to me. My mouth gapes open a little at her casual admission. I feel my heart start to beat faster.
You need all the home-cooked meals you can get. You'll have a much easier time getting a girlfriend once you've bulked up a bit.
Yep, here comes the friend zone. Population me. Population Dune. I shut my mouth with a grimace. Snowball's chance in hell, Hikaru. Snowball chance in hell. We reach the apartment and head up to the 3rd floor where we live. Mika is pushed to second landing, and I feel a little guilty for not offering to carry her groceries. Damn it, I should have asked her. But I don't know. The choices you make affect how your character is going to act, if you guys didn't know. So, we'll see. Still, her smile is genuinely sweet when she says goodbye at the front door.
I'll bring by some stew later, Hikaru-kun. Thanks for walking me home.
I unlock and enter the apartment, placing my shoes on a rack by the door. Home sweet home. Alone. Sadness. My voice sounds small and depressed. Time to log on some hours into Celestial Crossing before anything else happens to remind me of how pathetic I am. About myself. Mika's beef stew is a distant memory now, and the empty dishes are stacked on top of the incomplete homework assignment I should really get started on. Wow, I'm lazy. I glance at the clock and realize it's already midnight. Crap, I'm gonna fall asleep in class again. It's hard to feel upset about it while staring at Nerith's character screen where the word Max stares back at me in the big green letters over the player's level. Cool, maxed out my character. At least I got that going for me, which is nice. Happy that I've achieved my goals for the day, I save and log off. I realized belatedly that I'm still wearing my uniform when I topple over on top of the covers to get some shut-eye. Screw it. Akano-sensei will overlook a wrinkled uniform if she can get me to stay awake for the whole day for once. I'm not sure that's her responsibility, man. I'm sure you're putting too much faith in your teacher. With that final thought in mind, I feel myself drift peacefully into slumber. My dreams decide to pick up right where they left off.
You'd better be okay now, useless.
Instead of reacting to the new nickname, I'm pretty sure I've earned it by this point. Healed wound above my stomach.
That was my last healing spell, so if we get mortally injured by the Lich, we're shit out of luck.
She delivers a quick, perfunctionatory smack to my shoulders and sneers.
Don't make me regret it.
I'll try not to, Nerith. Please don't hurt me. I'm fragile, apparently. She shoulders her weapon and leads the way towards the set of stairs that spirals down to the lower level of the keep. I follow, wondering why the layout of the corridor feels so hauntingly familiar. It hits me that I'm dreaming. I'm lucid, but this is definitely a dream. As we continue to trek downward, the details come to me slowly as if I were dragging a waterlogged boat up from the bottom of a lake. We enter a short, dark corridor that ends in a portal of swirling purple energy. Nerith approaches it fearlessly, even as the final piece snaps into place within my memory. Game. I'm in the game. This is the final level of the Lich Lord's Keep, right before the boss, which means we're about to walk through the portal, right into the veritable minefield of magical traps. Nerith is almost within reach, and she gives me a strange look as the two of us pass through the portal. There's no turning back now, and if either of us takes another step, we're going to end up as a smear of charcoal on the floor. Call out a warning, I think. Wait! Nerith! I know! Horrified at my sudden outburst, Nerith lunges at me, slapping her hand painfully across my mouth. Her voice is somewhere between a shout and a whisper when she hisses into my ear.
Are you mentally challenged? You're going to get us both killed, you stupid piece of...
Grits? Beats? I don't know. A dark, disembodied voice begins chanting from the opposite end of the corridor. Clearly, even without setting off the traps, we have been noticed.
Shit!
She has time to shoot me a look of pure murder before we are both engulfed with dark magic. Flames spurt down the hall, shooting towards us. Death seems absolutely certain. I wake up, gasping like a fish out of water. I can still taste smoke in my mouth. I feel magic tendrils crawling along my skin. And I feel the unmistakable prick of a sharp metal edge against my throat. And that's where I'm going to stop here. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm starting to really like this. I don't know what's at the end of this story. That's why I wanted to get it off at a cliffhanger. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys take care. Bye now.